In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to visualize the strategic planning and procurement meeting as a part of the overall Takt production system. So I'm really excited about this. In the last video, we talked about the team weekly tactical. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the strategic planning and procurement meeting. Typically, this meeting will happen either as a part of your team weekly tactical, or it will be separate because you need specific people there and it might be a little bit long. So the key for this meeting is to make sure that you have your project manager, your superintendent, and I really do think that you could invite at least your lead project engineer, and then if you have a scheduler, then you would invite them to the meeting as well. The purpose of this meeting, the strategic planning and procurement meeting, is to make sure that the overall production plan is correct, okay, and that we have aligned the supply chain, okay? So the reason that that is important is because once this meeting is done, and this is very, like I said, this is very important, is we need to then create look-ahead plans and weekly work plans and day plans after that. And you can't really create a look-ahead plan, weekly work plan, or a day plan if we don't have a correct overall total project duration and a macro level Takt plan, and if we have not aligned the supply chain. So this is really key. So again, we have the project manager, the superintendent, lead PE, scheduler, if you have them. In the last meeting, we already covered the team board over here and got balance, we got coverage, we know exactly what we're doing. We may have done a little bit of this review, but we're going to be more in depth. We are solving problems and preparing trade partners. This one is mainly to make sure that your macro level Takt plan, and I will also say that if you're using your norm, macro is your promise, norm is your target. This is high level, this is detailed, this is on a 5-day Takt time, this is day by day, right? Whichever one you're using, the purpose of this meeting is to make sure that it's correct and it's a plan that can be followed to go create your look-ahead plans, weekly work plans, and day plans, okay? We also want to have your procurement log. So I'm just gonna write a procurement log up here. So you have 2 TVs up here at the top. I highly recommend that. And in the meeting, you've got a couple of key purposes. Now this is where it's all, oh my gosh, this is so good. So this is almost like doing a fresh eyes every week. Like I've talked to you about in pre-construction, a risk review meeting or a fresh eyes meeting is a whole lot like just digging in, tearing it apart. It's like a Pixar review process, right? You have the brain trust, you're digging in, you're finding problems. This is almost like doing that every week. So what happens is in the meeting, you will actually review the macro or the norm. Now, real quick before I go on, the key here, whether you're doing a macro and the procurement log or a norm and a procurement log, if you're using the norm, you can just attach the required on job dates from the norm to the procurement log with a little bit of a material inventory buffer. If you're using the macro, you're going to want to make sure that you either add a 10% buffer when you link it to the procurement log, or that you just default the procurement to the norm level dates. However you do it, the key is this is your slowest pace on your macro, the norm is your fastest pace, and we want to align procurement or your supply chain to your fastest pace, okay? So you're going to review your macro or your norm level Takt plan, and you're gonna ask questions like, how is the production trend? How are we with the current data day? Are we prepared out the next 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 120 days? Back when I used to work at Hensel Phelps, I loved the concept. They always said you need a 90-day look ahead or a 120-day look ahead, and that was burned into my brain. So you're gonna make sure that you're ready. The project engineer and the PM are gonna make sure that we have everything that we need, information, permissions, materials, resources for that. You're going to look at like I said for the Team Weekly Tactical, your trade partner preparation process, and make sure that all of your key meetings are scheduled. And then most importantly, you're going to look at the buffers at the end of your production plan and make sure we're on target to finish. This is for strategic changes. So review the macro and norm level tech plan. Once you have any large strategic changes or decisions made, then you can go in and make sure that you are managing the supply chain. Now, this meeting is about making sure that the overall plan is correct, but it's mostly about managing the supply chain. So what you'll do is you'll get in there, and you have to understand this is more of an art form. It's not just come in and look at the log. That's boring and useless. It's, do we have the right required on job dates? Do we have the right material inventory buffers? How is everything, oh my gosh, everything along the path when it comes from buyout to the trade partner preparing the submittal, to the design review process, to releasing the PO, to fabrication, to shipment, to delivery on site, any part of that process. If anything is behind, then we identify and discuss and solve it. There's like 15 to 50 different things that you can do to recover a supply chain as long as you have eyes on it and are managing it. So in this meeting, you'll want to get creative. Can we do a page flip? Can we look out the next 6 weeks? Can we call trade partners? Can we value stream map something? Can we go through and look at the model? What can we do to make sure that all of the materials are heading to the project site when they need to, with the right material inventory buffer according to the required on job dates? So if you do this right, then you will have a master level TAC plan or a master plan or a master schedule and a supply chain management system that is going to get the right things to the trade partners real time on the project site. Now, when you have that, like I said, you can then do your look ahead planning, weekly work planning, and day planning and enable the trade partners. Without it, you are not going to be successful. I thought of a really, it's not an, I'll say a neat analogy. The analogy is nice, but I don't like this. The last planner system, without a first planner system here, if we're just like, yeah, we're going to do last planner, foreman, create your own look aheads, create your own weekly work plans, that's like saying, hey trades, sink or swim. That's like saying, hey trades, do my job. That's like saying, hey trades, figure it out. That's not right. What we should be doing is saying, hey trades, this is your look ahead, weekly work plan, day plan that we're coordinating together and involving you as the last planners in the system. But we've already done our job and we have a master plan and we are making sure that all of the materials are going to feed you here. And so this is key. And then after this, once this meeting is done, then we'll be able to go into the Trade Partner Weekly Tactical and the afternoon daily foreman huddles. So this is an overview of the strategic planning and procurement meeting. Again, it can be looped in with the Team Weekly Tactical, but I hope you're able to visualize it now and that you've enjoyed this video. On we go.